Hello everybody, this is Victor and welcome to review number 200. I'm sitting here with a very nice Devonier Blanc de Blanc champagne, which I'm going to drink and enjoy, and then I'm going to review a movie that is almost as gorgeous as this nice little bottle is. I'm talking about the movie The Prestige. Well, thanks me from this Monday. Now, Hollywood was gracious enough to grant me not one, but two movies about magicians operating in the turn of the century, that 19th to 20th century Europe in 2006, with multiple Academy Award nominee and winning performance in them. Now, let's talk about the movie The Prestige. In this movie, we have two magicians. They are sort of colleagues under the supervision of Cutter, played by Michael Caine. The two magicians are, of course, Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, playing Alfred and Robert. After an accident on stage, they are separated and their friendship is turned into bitter rivalry, and the two men absolutely loathe each other. Especially Jackman is loathing Bale. Bale doesn't really hate Hugh in the same way, and they start, sabotaging each other's careers as they're trying to, get their magic tricks going. Now, it should also be pointed out that this movie starts with the fact that Alfred, aka Christian Bale, is, in jail because he murdered Robert, aka Hugh Jackman, on stage. Now, why he did this? Did the rivalry become so infected that he didn't see any other way to do it, or is there something else going on here? And how did Christian Bale perform the trick with the red ball, the transporting man, which is one of the sources to the obsession from Robert that drove him to, seek up Tesla and stuff like that, but we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. One thing that needs to be said, and I have a small little problem with the movie Pulp Fiction. Now, Pulp Fiction has been praised for how it jumps forward and backwards in its storytelling. I kind of thought that was a little gimmicky. I love Pulp Fiction. It's a really good movie. It's fucking excellent. However, I always thought that if you would have removed that, it almost would have been exactly the same movie. It is a little gimmicky. However, in The Prestige, that is the thing that gives this movie its absolute mega edge. Because one thing I really like that Christopher Nolan does is that he shows us something and then he tells us what it is a bit later, that we still have a question in our minds. What the hell was that? Usually movie makers tend to do it the other way around. We're first told something, then we're shown it, because, and by that we have already figured out, oh, it's that. But he doesn't do that. And because this movie moves in ways that can sometimes be a little bit tricky to figure out, wait a minute, are we there or are we here? But as soon as you get the gist of it, it's an absolute blast. Now, this movie clocks in at 130 minutes, but I felt that in no way. It just moves along in such an amazing pace, and there's always stuff happening. There are no dead zones in this entire movie. Add to that at least 5 Oscar-worthy performances. Caine, Jackman, Bale, Hall, Johansson, who, by the way, plays a mole kind of a thing that Jackman sends into Bale to spy on him and stuff like that. The unpredictability of the script, and you always know that something is fishy here. There is something going on here, but you don't know what it is. You know that this movie is gonna have some kind of a weird twist in this one, and when it shows up, your boozles will be so bammed that you will have weeks to try to recover from that one. When I saw this movie the first time, I just stood up and went, oh my god! Oh my god! I have seen this movie multiple times since that, and even though I know what's coming, the ending shocks me every time. It is one of the 5 best twists and in the ends I have ever seen. And I knew that going in. I knew that there was going to be some kind of a thing. So it is not a spoiler or anything like that this movie has a twist in the end. But how big it is, and how simple it is, and at the same time how incredibly clever it is. There are multiple small little layers all over the place that could lead you in the right direction. But as Michael Caine points out in the opening statement, but you're not really looking. You don't really want to know how the magic trick is performed. I'm just gonna state it right here, right now. This is one of the best movies I have ever seen. Now, Nolan just crams so much stuff into this one. It's a period piece, it's a movie about magic, it is a thriller, it is the rivalry between Nikola Tesla and Edison, it is a mystery, it is so much stuff. And there is just... I don't have the words really to describe how great this movie is. Fantastic cinematography, great music, fantastic performances. Also, before I forget it, David, I have all the charisma in the world. Bowie plays Tesla in a low-key amazing role. I don't know how close it is to the actual Tesla, but it's kind of fascinating. The whole period is so fascinating, and there is just such a big tragedy about this one. And there's also this thing that I've always been fascinated about, how much you will sacrifice as a performer to, you know, be able to fool the audience, to hook the audience. And this is in a sense what this movie is also about. It's adapted from a short story, which is the best source material you could ever have of, you know, making a movie. Because if you're, you know, using this brick of a book or something like that you don't want to make, you have to cut out lots of stuff. If you have a short story, you can add on. You don't have to cut anything. I should point out that I haven't read a short story, but I could almost see the short story in front of me. The Prestige is one of these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to see a fantastic thriller with amazing performances, with an amazing twist, with a script that is so cleverly written, with so many layers and so many hooks and knocks and stuff like that, that it is difficult to find anything I don't like about it. In fact, when I rewatched it last week, when I was going to do this review, I figured I have no idea how to change anything of this. There is probably, you know, some loopholes here and there. There is probably some kind of, you know, reason why so and so shouldn't work. But I don't really care about that one, because when I was done watching this movie, I was stunned how good it is. It keeps getting better and better every time I see it. If you haven't seen The Prestige, shame on you. Go and see it immediately. If you have seen it, see it again! It just keeps getting better every single time I see it. I'm so grateful that this movie came out. I'm so grateful that in 2006 we got both this one and The Illusionist. The Illusionist is an extremely good movie too, not as good as this one, but there is only a handful of movies that actually is. It has only happened 14 times since 1927 that I can give the movie a rating like this. It is my privilege, my honor, and my absolute delight to award The Prestige a whopping 100 points. This is movie making at its absolute highest. And this is a movie that just fitted me like a glove. This is exactly what I live for. The only thing I love more than a magic trick is a thriller with a great freaking ending and an amazing twist. And this one, oh my god. So that was review number 200. I'll see you next time for my 201st review from, well, so-and-so, when I will be reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.